Well, hello and welcome to my first ever makeup tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how I do my Elsa from Frozen 2 makeup. Before I do anything makeup wise, I like to put in my circle lenses in. They're just easier for me to put on while I don't have makeup, and put my hair up into a wig cap to get that lunch lady vibe. So I like to do my eye makeup before I do my face makeup, so I'm just putting on my concealer as a base for my eyeshadow, and I'm just blending that out with my sponge and then like putting that everywhere. So I can do my favorite part of any makeup, cosplay, or my day-to-day life, which is eyeshadow. For me, Elsa's makeup is different in each movie. Her first movie makeup is much more on the glam side, in your face, because she has a lot of bright colors in that makeup look. Like she has some hot pinks and purple in her eyeshadow, where her second one tend to be more on the natural side. I put quotation marks around natural just because it's still very glam. Well, she is the queen, so I expect her makeup to be a little more glam anyways. So I'm taking a neutral tone purple eyeshadow and I'm putting that in my crease and blending that up all the way to my brow bone, or just basically my eyebrow. I normally don't do this in my day-to-day makeup, but since I'm doing an animated character, their eyes tend to be bigger and way bigger than my eyes. So blending that color all the way up to the eyebrow just give me more of an illusion of bigger eyes, especially when I put those false lashes on later. Now I'm taking a cool tone purple and I'm putting that on the outer corner of my eye and my crease and blending that to the neutral purple. I recommend that if you're doing a cool tone purple eye look, I recommend that you have some neutral tones in there, especially in that first shade, because sometimes when you do a purple tone eye look, you may look like you have a black eye. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to make it look like I have a black eye. So adding those neutral tones in the beginning really helps make it not look like a black eye. And I'm making sure I'm staying in, deepening up that outer corner and putting a lot of attention to the crease and really taking my time blending it out, because purple tend to be a difficult color to blend out. So I make sure I, really build that up. And now I'm taking that a slightly darker purple shade, but still cool tone, and I'm really focusing that on the edge of my eye and above my crease, but not blending it right up. I'm creating a new crease right above my original crease. I'm making a new crease because I'm making my eyes look bigger and adding a crease above my actual crease, like making a new one and making it rounder than my normal eye, really make my eyes much more bigger and animated. So I'm making sure I'm really focusing on deepening that new crease that we made and shading it really good, because everything is about shading and blending. And make sure you take your time blending out your eyeshadow, because when your eyeshadow is much more blended, it might make it look more cleaner and snatched. So I'm just wiping off the fallout I got from my eyeshadow off my under eye, because the only fallout that I want is Fallout Boy. So yeah, I'm just making sure it's all nice and clean under there. Got rid of all that excess shadow that I do not need in my life. And now I'm just going to grab a taupey mauve shimmer shade and I'm going to apply that to all over my eyelid. I use like a brighter shade from all over my eye, because it really opens up my eyes and make them look bigger. And as I said, with animated characters, you want bigger eyes. And I'm making sure it's all nice and blended, and I'm applying it with my middle finger, so I'm sorry if I'm flipping you off. That is how I apply my shimmers. And remember, when you have cool tones, make sure you have some neutrals under there, or make it look like you have a black eye, and we don't want that. And now I'm applying some glitter glue. Well, not actual glitter glue. We want no elbows over here. It's more like glitter primer, because I'm going to put some loose glitter onto my eye, but it's cosmetic glitter, so it's safe for my face. And it's really pretty because it's a purple iridescent color, and it makes everything just blends in together and making me feel more like a sparkly ice queen that I'm trying to be. And again, sorry that, I'm flipping you off. I don't mean to. I just apply everything with my middle finger because it's just easier that way. Yeah, I really like applying glitter. I always welcome it. And now I'm doing the part that everybody hates but I don't mind doing, which is eyeliner. Sorry if it's not the best angle. I had to get really close to my mirror to do this step, But what I usually do for Elsa is I like to make my eyeliner on my lid nice and thick to help blend in with those false lashes we're going to apply later, and making a little baby wing for her. Not my best job, they're sisters, not twins. So since we're done with the eye makeup, basically, I'm just going to move on to my complexion. So I'm putting a foundation that's much more lighter than my skin tone because Elsa's not as dark as I am. So I'm just making myself a little bit more paler for this costume. And I'm using the Photo Focus foundation from Wet n Wild. It's not the greatest foundation in the world, it kind of sucks, but it makes my skin look really good in photos, and for cosplay that's all I tend to care about in the end, so it's okay. And make sure that it's nice and blended, getting it all up there in my hairline to help blend in on my ears, my neck, just blending that everywhere. Now conceal, don't feel, and don't let them know. I waited so long to say that. Anyways, I was putting concealer everywhere, on my under eyes, on my nose, on my forehead and stuff. Since Elsa has a button nose and I have kind of like a longer nose than she has, I only highlighting the tip of my nose to make it much more smaller and rounder and cute, like a little bunny nose. And make sure I take my time really blending out my under eyes because I don't want to get concealer in my eyeshadow, especially if I spent all that time working on it. So yeah, I just blend. And since Elsa's a much more paler character and I have a much more stronger face, I tend to not contour, so I really rely on highlighting my face to give me the shape that I want. So this step is a little weird, but it makes sense for me. I like to apply blush before foundation when I have more of a natural flush characters have more of a blushy tone to them than other characters, because when I add blush before my powder and blend, it is making it look a little bit more natural, and I like to blend it out too with some of my leftover product that's on my sponge, and I make sure that I really work that in there. And then after I put the blush on, then I put powder all over my face. And with costumes, I just put powder on my face because I know I go to conventions or events or take pictures and I get warm and sweaty, and so I make sure I put a lot of powder on to make sure that I just don't break away my makeup. And when you dress up as a princess, especially a Disney princess, it doesn't hurt to add just a little bit more blush than normal, especially if you're doing photography. Sometimes the blush won't show up on camera, so sometimes it's great to add more than not to have enough blush on your face because you might look washed out in photos. So that's why I always add more. And now I'm putting some highlight on my face. I like doing a white highlighter for Elsa because she's so pale, and I make sure this is nice and icy because she is one of those girls who just have like a nice icy highlight. And I'm really focusing on putting on the tip of my nose again to make my nose look, focusing just on the bottom of my nose to make my nose look smaller and more like a bunny, like I say. Now I'm grabbing more highlighter and putting it on my face because when I do photography, I just think a blinding highlighter just photographs so well and it's just really pretty. So I'm spraying some setting spray on my brush and dipping into the Coty Airspun loose highlighter. And this is a very icy highlighter, very blinding, and also just seems like the girl to have a nice icy highlight on her face. And for me, more blinding the better, because when you see my side of my face, I'm like, ka-chow, you're blinded by my highlighter. I have natural thick black eyebrows and Elsa does not. She has much more lighter and thinner eyebrows than what I have, so that way I'm not really like shaping them or anything. I'm just kind of filling them in with a lighter eyeshadow to make my eyebrows look much more lighter than they are. And now I'm just grabbing the same purples that I used from the top of my lid to my bottom under eye, and I'm just making sure that I blend it halfway through my eye, not all the way, because that just makes my eyes look bigger. And with animated characters, as I said, you want your eyes to look as big as they can. And I'm just putting mascara on my lashes and making sure I go from the root of my eyelashes all the way to the top and coating them all nice and making sure they're all nice and black, so when I put my false lashes on, they blend a little bit better. Now I'm going back to the first highlight that I used, and I'm putting that on the inner corner of my eye to really open up that area so my eyes can look, again, bigger than they are because animated characters just have big eyes. And I'm putting it also on top of my, or underneath my brow bone. And yeah, I really like Makeup Revolution highlighters. They're my favorite, so if you're just wondering, and they're like cheap, so that's great. And now I'm just adding more glitter on my face, filling on the high point to, I said, since I can't rely on contour for this type of character, I rely on highlights to make my face look rounder and less square and angled. So yeah, I always welcome glitter. My family who lives with me doesn't agree, but glitter is better. And then now I'm just putting on those false lashes on. I always wait like a minute before I glue them on with the glue because my glue takes a long time to get tacky. And tackier the better to apply. And my last step of my makeup is putting on some lipstick. I'm putting on a berry color. And I know Elsa has thin lips, but I have nice plump lips and I like to show them off, so. And I also forgot to put on freckles, but when I'm Elsa, I usually put the slightest bit of freckles on, but I forgot to do that because I'm a dummy. So now I just put on my costume and my wig, and everything just comes together. I'm very proud of my makeup job for Elsa, considering that I don't look like her normally. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if there's any other characters you'd like me to do, especially the ones I cosplayed, let me know down below. And please subscribe and like this video. And you wondering how I made my Elsa cosplay, I also have a video of that here on YouTube. I did a whole breakdown video of how I created it. So yeah, I recommend go checking that out too. Thank you much for watching, and please come for my next one.